The Shining is legitimately one of my favourite films of all time. Its cinematography is outstanding, its plot adheres to the best bits of Stephen King's writing, and Jack Nicholson is phenomenal. The story of how it came to be is fascinating as well, with Stanley Kubrick, the wanton king of vagueness and mischief, being at his most mad bastard throughout production, and liberally dousing the film with details that drive even the most experienced film analysts mad. None more so, it seems, than with the film's ending. That long, slow zoom towards the picture within the hotel, in which we see, most hauntingly of all, that Jack is there, back in the 1920s. And then we finally transition to the credits. So what's it saying? Was Jack simply reincarnated by the hotel to do its bidding, taking the form of a previous hotel guest who stayed there in the 1920s and butchered his family? Is the hotel recreating the same events that happened in previous years for generation after generation? Well, I'm Jules of WhatCulture.com, and this is what we think The Shining's final image actually means. This one shot throws gasoline onto an already melting brain, as on top of the haunting and paranormal events, we are now looking at potential time travel, or at least time manipulation. It's an infamous, iconic image burned into the collective consciousness that has inspired a fair few theories, and some are so compelling that they warrant further investigation. If only so we can finally try to get some sense out of The Shining. So the first theory is that what if Jack Torrance isn't actually Jack at all, but a reincarnation of a spirit of the hotel, possibly one of many, possibly a manifestation of the hotel itself, who brings people back to the hotel in order to reenact an event which began back in 1921. This would be supported by the fact that Jack has always been the caretaker, and that Delbert Grady has always been the butler. It would explain why other ghosts recognize him and how they are so easily able to turn him on his family. It also adds to the ending of Jack moaning and howling through the maze, his body giving up on him the more that he fails to capture his prey. And as his family leave, he's got no use for it anymore and literally casts it aside. We also have to consider that Grady is a shared name between the butler and Charles Grady, who was the murderous previous caretaker who killed his family before the Torrances arrived. This suggests that the hotel may have tried this before, possibly adapting how it draws people in by taking on different forms. To what end this all amounts to is open to debate, but it's clear that the hotel wants guests, it wants murder, and it wants more. Which leads to a counter-theory that Jack may indeed be Jack, a real, non-spirited person, but that the hotel calls to people like him who have damaged pasts in order to add them to its collection. The Grady surname might just be a coincidence, and all three men are only guilty of sharing the slumbering potential to murder their loved ones. Jack dies and is then consumed by the hotel to live on at peace forever, or as peaceful as elevators of blood can be. But it makes you wonder how many of the guests shared the same fate. This picture, this single moment that all the spirits are trapped in, also returns to that always been the caretaker line, as this moment will technically be preserved forever and in that sense has always been there. This implies that time is predetermined, that Jack will join the ranks no matter how many choices he's given to break it. And Kubrick went on record to state, the ballroom photograph at the very end suggests the reincarnation of Jack. But that's an interesting use of the word suggests. It could mean one of two things. Either he's been reincarnated as a spirit to draw people in, or that he's now reincarnated in that picture at one with the hotel with which he so willingly gave himself to forever. Those are but two interpretations of the ending shot of The Shining. But what do you think? Was Jack a spirit who wanted to play, or just a man who was simply cray? Let me know your theories down in the comments section below, as I'd love to read them. Then swing by WhatCulture.com for more news and articles like this every goddamn day. And as always, I've been Jules, you've been awesome, and I'll speak to you soon.